relation to coming back to the next meeting on that. I quite happily work with the officers and with the other members on this committee to be able to come up with those decisions, if that's okay, Chair.
Thank you very much, Stuart. We'll sort that out then.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Councillor Baldwin. I'll speak with the case officer afterwards, and we'll make contact with you with regards to how we take that forward.
Thank you. Right. Item 13, John, you're the Committee of Appeals.
Yes, Chair. I know it's been a long meeting. I've got nothing that I need to raise extraordinarily as a result of either the appeals received or the decisions. I will, however, take any questions that members may have.
Any questions for Jonathan, please?
Chair, can I just formally move we note the report?
I'll
Thank you,
second that,
Chair.
Chair.
Thank you. Right. Item 14, is this yours again, Jonathan?
No, it's mine, Chair.
Report.
It's mine,
Yours,
Chair.
Rod? Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, basically it's for noting. Hopefully members would have had a chance to read the report and what it pertains to, but it's a wind farm up in the Upper Ogmore, 7, I think, wind turbines, and we've produced a local impact report which has been sent back to Planning Inspectorate to help them determine that development of national significance. Thank you, Jay.
Thank you very much, Rod. Can you note the report, please?
I formally move we note it, Chair.
All in
I'll
favour?
second.
Can I come in, please?
Of course you can.
Hi, sorry, I just didn't declare it in the beginning, but as somebody living in Blaengarrow, and I just wanted to declare a personal interest in this. I know we were only just noting the report, but I just want to make sure that, you know, there's no discrepancies there in the declarations. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Denny. Right. Where are we by now? 16. Who's taking this?
15.
Chair, I think.
15, Chair.
15. Is there a request for scoop into right up there?
Yeah, that's me again, Chair. Just very quickly, it's something similar to the local impact report, but as it hasn't come into the Planning Inspectorate or the Welsh Ministers yet, it's not an application. It's the developer who's hoping to put up 26 250-metre high turbines, mostly in East Port Talbot, but there's one just to the west of Maesteg, that's in BCBC. So we've been asked for our view on the scoping report that has been prepared by the developer to inform Planning Inspectorate before they give us scoping. Before they inform the scoping opinion to the developer. So it's all for noting, but hopefully you've had a chance to read the report and take it from there, and our response to pins. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Rod. Could you note the report, please?
Formally move we note the report, Chair.
All in favour?
Only second that.
Chair, I've asked to speak.
John, of course you can speak.
Thank you, Chair. A quick question. It's regards community benefit with wind farms, because I see across this region, especially in RCT, there's millions of pounds going back into the community for sort of community benefit schemes from the wind farm companies. I don't see anything anywhere near. I know it's only one wind turbine. But what happens to that? Is there anything coming back to the community for the impact it'll have on the visual amenity?
Rod or Jonathan, please.
Yeah.
I'll come in on that, Rodri, if you want.
Thank you.
It's a bit too early to say what any community benefit will be at this stage. It's only we're looking at it at a very early level. That is obviously outside the planning process. It's not something that we control under planning, but it would be a separate arrangement with the development company and the relative community. That I know that some of our communities have benefited from contributions from the current wind farm operators in our area, but that's something that will be sorted out later. I'm sure there will be some community benefit somewhere.
Okay, thank you, John. Then thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much. Right. Vote our report as well has been noted. Item
Sorry.
16, please.
Sorry, Chair. It's probably just to add to what Councillor Spanswick said, and of course we've had the benefits of sun credit and the solar farms that have been attributed across town centre and other community councils in the past. But I think it was mentioned at Corporate Overview and Scrutiny Committee this week that as part of the procurement process, obviously that's something that we would consider further, but it's probably, like I said, it's outside of the planning regulations.
Thank you, Stuart. Right. Item 16. Is this you with Jonathan or Rodney's?
This is me again, Chair.
John, thank you.
I'll try and keep this as brief as we can, because I know time is moving on, but it's I think it's quite important to bring to members' attention that we have had some quite fundamental new national planning policy over the last week, and this is the publication of the document Future Wales 2040, or as it's been abbreviated to FW 2040. Now, this is the National Development Framework, and we have previously brought a report to committee on the NDF a while ago, last year. But this now is the actual finished and published document. It is there ready for you to download and to peruse at your leisure. Planning Policy Wales has also been updated, so we're now on Planning Policy Wales 11 or PPW 11, and you will have noticed that in the reports that there is reference to these two new documents as part of the planning policy section. It's FW 2040 is a development plan for the purposes of determining planning application. So it needs to be, planning applications need to be in accordance with FW 2040. So that there's quite a fundamental change there to the previous spatial plan. It's a national development framework, and it sets the direction for development in Wales up to 2040, not surprisingly. And it's as I said before, it is a development plan, and it's a strategy for addressing key national priorities via the planning system. And this includes sustaining development, vibrant economy, achieving decarbonisation, climate resilience, strong ecosystems, and improving health and well-being of our community. So it ties in considerably with other Welsh Government strategies, and of course with our own local strategies for carbon reductions. It sets out as well the development policies for Wales as a whole, and there are national growth areas identified, which includes area North Wales, Swansea Bay area, and of course the Cardiff Capital region, which is where Bridgend is based, and it's identified the Cardiff Capital region as being a national growth area. And within that, Bridgend as well is also seen as a regional area of growth. And also the future strategic development plans, which again we brought a report to members on this a little while ago. That will be linked directly to the Future Wales 2040 document. So it basically provides the policy framework for that future document. As I said before, within the region itself, Bridgend is specifically identified as a regional centre of growth, and this is based on a strategically important location. It's part of the South Wales metro system, and there's also opportunity to improve rail, bus, cycling and walking infrastructure, and with a focus on investment, regeneration and associated development. It also identifies Bridgend as a priority area for district heat networks. And there's an expectation on planning authorities to identify opportunities for integrating into new and existing development, and this is something that will be taken forward through in our forthcoming LDP. So in terms of our structure, then in terms of the planning policy structure, we have the National Development Framework, or Future Wales 2040, and that's the top tier of development plan hierarchy, and then you have the strategic development plans, and then the local development plan will be at authority level. It's members will be sort of interested to know is where we are with our LDP in terms of its relationship with Future Wales, and we can assure members that we have been monitoring the progress on Future Wales since the draft was issued last year, and our LDP review is in line with that, and that there's not going to be any conflict. So the report is for noting, Chair, but what we will do is bring a future training session together for members to go through this in a little bit more detail. Officers are discussing the documents with Welsh Government colleagues over the next couple of weeks, and hopefully we will be in a position to bring a detailed session to members in the near future. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Jonathan. Councillor Baldell, please.
Thank you, Chair. Just Jonathan mentioned it a little bit at the end there, where he said about putting together a briefing for members. I was just going to say, obviously that should hopefully will be out to all members, not just members of this committee. But when that does go out, I think we should make the point that this is not just about planning. This is about the entire council and where this council sits going forward. So I think that all members should be made aware of that. All, well, 53 of us at the moment should be made aware of that, so that all members can make the possibility of coming along, because it's really important, because it does shape where Bridge End fits in the whole of Wales going forward for the next 20 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Could you note the report, please?
I'll also move to note the report.
I'll formally move we note the report, Chair.
Thank you very much. Right, item 17, training log, please, Jonathan.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. This sort of runs neatly from the last item, and yes, I think the point that was raised by Councillor Blundell is quite valid, and with committee's approval or agreement, I'm quite happy to extend DCC member training to all members. Something we used to do before we went virtual, and those members that were in the placemaking training session yesterday will be aware that was open to all members as well, and that was through the agreement with the chair. If committee are agreeable, then we can do similar for future items, particularly these ones where there's national planning policy involved, and that has a fundamental impact on how as a local planning authority we interact with the policy, but also how we take forward our own developments as well. So I think that's quite a good point, and that's something that if committee are agreeable to, we will do in the future. In the training log, we've now brought the training log back onto as a regular item on the planning report. We've got a few subjects coming up in the future. Yesterday was placemaking, which I thought was quite a useful session. There's quite a lot of good discussion on that. There's a minerals update that will be coming forward in April. We also have some updates on building regulations, and that's in particular with fire safety regulations, and potentially we could also look at energy efficiency of new buildings as well attached to that. And also noted there is the National Development Framework Planning Policy Wales 11. That's another session that we got coming up as well. Those dates are not fixed. We can move them around depending on priorities. But yeah, we've got quite a lot to cover over the next couple of months, Chair.
Thank you, Jonathan. I got no more of the business. I'd like to thank the officers and the members for attending the meeting. Take care and
Could I
stay safe.
say something? I'm really sorry. I would like to apologise to the chair, the vice chair, and the committee for forgetting to turn my microphone off earlier. Apologies.
No, thank you very much, all. You take care.
It is.
Thank you,
Bye.
Chair.
Thank you.
Bye.